it is so comforting to know that there were so many common themes I heard from the previous two speakers. Really agree uh, with the problems areas. Now we may have a little, I may have a little bit different perspective on the solutions, because solutions, sometimes I feel that solutions are, are probably not going to come in my lifetime, but we are going to continue towards making this world a better place, similar to what Brother Shankar has very nicely alluded to in his talk. Well, I may deviate because of my discussion with the organizer of this program. I may deviate a little bit from the previous two speakers, uh, because I was asked to talk about the religious persecution and the religious adversities that exist in in the community at large, and in the Muslim community here in United States, in specifically, but in general in West. So I will do that. But before I start, my passion, and I hope that of my community, uh, comes from the example of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who, after moving to Medina, people who don't know the history, the second period of his messenger's duties, moving to Medina, where he established a government and called Ummah. And from a lot of people, even Muslims, do not realize the breadth of issues that he was facing. So he established a constitution, probably the first written constitution, where Muslims were part of that ummah, the nation. The three Jewish tribes were part of that nation, and the various pagan tribes were a part of that nation. So it was a very pluralistic society that it was particularly the first federal government, where each tribe ruled by their own rules, and there were certain things that was handled by at the federal level, at the government level. So my passion comes growing up in Pakistan, with Zoroastrian as my next door neighbor, the Baha'is on the top floor, and a Christian at the bottom floor. Going to a Catholic missionary school give me a very good sense of why our world should be pluralistic. But at the same time, while I embrace and welcome all faith, I do not need to compromise on my faith. There is absolutely, sometimes interfaith cooperation means that I compromise on my faith. We need to respect that each one of us have got our way of traditional. We practice our faith, we worship, and it is very. Now I start with, I was not even thinking about that. I was going to talk about this. When I worked in the corporate world, it was if you did not say Merry Christmas in the most passionate way, it was not accepted. It was it was shown as that everybody should be as passionate about religious holidays that are that of other faith. So sometimes that would actually come as a check mark against you if you were not. So just wanted to mention that there was a fellow when I was working in a corporate world, who would pass me every time he passed me in the hallway. He would say, "Ashfaq, when am I going to save you?" Meaning giving me the evangelical message of Christianity. So these are the examples of America living in a bubble where they think that everybody else in the world is following the same values, same religion, and so on and so forth. Now, in the last couple of years, maybe last 3-4 years, it has been pretty quiet as far as at least the publicity of adversities and, I wouldn't say crime, but not even persecution. That's not the right word, but adversities against Muslims, Muslim families have kind of simmered down because we've got a lot of other things to worry about. The white supremacists have taken a role which used to be at one time that of Muslims. There was just always in the news. But before that, there have been cases, and some, the sorry part is that the general population, mainstream population, sometimes do not even understand, do not even know that a Muslim woman in her traditional garb in New York, somebody came and just lit fire on her dress. A lady in our University of Alabama in Birmingham, immediately after 9/11, was spat at. My son, who was a student at that time at UAB, got an email saying, "Go back home." And it is such a strange thing. So my son comes home. He said, "Where does he want me to go back to? North Carolina?" Because that's where he was born. So there have been many examples of. Just to mention, there were at least 1 or 2 shooting of a convenience store clerk, which, if I put 2 and 2 together, did not have much evidence, but I had a gut feeling that at least 1, but maybe 2, were shot because they were Muslim, because they looked like Muslim. The first person to be killed after 9/11 was not even a Muslim. He was wearing turban. He was a Sikh. About 4 years ago, like I said, things have simmered down quite a bit. But about 3-4 years ago, an Indian Hindu student was killed because he looked. We all look. We come from the same part of the world. We look the same, and therefore, sometimes people don't even know that who they are killing. And that reminds me of one of the sayings of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. A time will come when people will be killing somebody without knowing who is he killing, and the person who was killed did not know what was the reason he was killed for. So it is the life of Muslim is between 2 extremes, and I'll give you an example of that, which I have personally faced in this community of Birmingham, Alabama. After 9/11, we got such a passionate and compassionate. We got a lot of compassionate message and a lot of goodwill message from the community at large. This lady called on our telephone system, and this was the time when we didn't used to have a digital voicemail, and therefore she actually was going on and on and on, showing her love and compassion for the Muslim community, that she made our tape run out. There was not enough room for it to be more voices to be recorded. So I'm going to give one more example of this, and then there was one time there was a death of a 2-year-old boy of a very right wing type of radio talk show host. So we thought that it would be a great thing to send a message. So we wrote a message on their, I think it was one of the TV stations which was taking messages. And we gave a message, and we quoted a verse from Quran. And it was a very generic, universal verse from Quran, which says that God gives you patience when there is a adversity befalls upon you, you thank, you pray to God, and you grieve within that framework. And then this another lady immediately after our comment wrote, "How dare you quote a Quran on the death of a Christian?" Not even paying attention to what that verse said. So there has been many examples of of goodwill, compassion. If you remember the first the attack on Paris, the terrorist attack on Paris, after those pictures were depicted, somebody wrote on Facebook, "Where are the Muslims?" And another non-Muslim on Facebook found out 144 references where Muslim clerics, Muslim leaders all over the world condemned. So people live in a bubble, not knowing what Muslims have done, what Dr. Islam Siddiqui in his interfaith work does, and some of the things that Brother Shankar has said. So and we've got a lot of work to do. There is a lot of work to do, and we need to get together, set our differences aside, and come to a common goal that we are going to continue change one heart at a time.